Hi everyone, it is with great joy and excitement that I share with you all my next Nclex RN exam journey. For those who are new here, I am Nurse Cynthia, and I say a very big thank you to all my viewers and my subscribers. If you are new here, please consider subscribing in order to join this family for more videos. Thank you so much. In today's video, I will share with you all my Nclex exam journey, the Nclex study materials that I use, and the strategies that I use. Let's get started. I wrote the Nclex exam in December 2023. My computer shut up at 86 questions and I got a pass. That was my first attempt and I got a pass. Talking about myself, the first time I heard the word Nclex exam was in 2017 in Cameroon precisely, that is in Africa. That was during class lectures from one of my professors. I wrote it behind the course. Dear God, my wish is to write the Nclex exam. And today, I am here to testify my journey to you all. Let's stay tuned. So many of you hearing from me right now have heard the word Nclex exam or are hearing it right now or are currently preparing for your Nclex exam. If that is your wish, write it somewhere and work toward it and God will grant you your request. The word of God says, and I quote, "Until now, you have not asked for anything in my name. Ask, and you will receive, so your happiness may be complete." John 16, verse 24. My dear friends, if you believe in God as I do, go ahead, ask Him your wish, work toward it, and He will grant it to you. I graduated from nursing school in 2018 in Africa, and in 2023, I decided to study for my Nclex RN exam. I've been out of school for 5 years, and as you all know, the Nclex exam is an American exam, and I studied in Africa, so I needed to prepare very well before I faced this exam. I started studying for my Nclex RN exam shortly after I submitted my certificate to be evaluated by CGFS International. If you need more information on this process, you can check my previous videos. I started by buying a UWorld question bank for 1 year. This sounds silly, right? But let me tell you why I did that. It was a little bit cheaper buying it for 1 year comparatively to buying it for 6 months. And I knew I might need to use it for more than 6 months since I was out of school for a long time. With this question bank, I went ahead and set the first self-assessment test. And guess what? I got a score of 32 and you will rated me as very low. At that point, I realized that I need to put in more work before I face the real Nclex exam. In the next Nclex RN exam, it is very important to know that you have to answer it with what the textbook says and not what the hospital where you practice says. At this point, I understood that I had to study the content and know it very well. Hello, in the next Nclex exam, content is everything. Content is key. Content is the building block. It's everything, guys. It's everything. You have to study the content and know it very well in order to apply it to the questions. In order to prepare for this Nclex exam, it is good to know the content, the course outline, what you have to study. And one thing that worked for me is I went to the Nclex website and I printed this book out. I downloaded it and I printed this out. This book will tell you all the content you need to know, table of content. all the areas that you need to study detailedly for your exam. As you can see, each time I study, I'll tick. I'll write a tick of what I master very well. That's how you get to know if you have covered all the areas or not. So printing this book out will guide you a lot on what you have to study, because there's a lot of material to study, and this book this is just like a handout. It can be like a guide to guide you on what you really need to know for this exam. I bought a hard copy of this book, Sounders Competitive Review for Nclex RN exam. With this book, I study it system by system. As you can see, book is so important and it's enriched in so many areas. It has an involved side. You can access that on this code. When you buy a hard copy, you can turn to the inner page and there will be a code here for you to access. With this code, it will take you to the evolved side of this book. The evolved side is a question bank that has thousands of questions. Now, let me share with you all my study plan and the materials that I use. My study plan was broken down into 2 parts, the first 6 months and the last 2 months. Within the first 6 months, my plan was to study content mainly and understand it. With the study of the content, I study the Sounders book system by system. When I read a system in the book, I will go on YouTube and I'll watch videos, understand better. After that, I will answer a lot of questions on that system. I'll answer questions on my UWorld question bank. I'll answer questions on the Sounders Evolved site, and I'll also answer questions on the Sounders book itself. It has questions, hard copy questions, since I was using the hard copy. And again, guys, the YouTube I was using for content was mainly Sarah Nurse RN. She has a lot of educative content, especially when you want to understand some system, when you want to understand concept. For example, I study EKG using her on YouTube. I study the cardiovascular system, the endocrine system, a lot of system using her videos. And there's another guy, Simple Nursing, Nurse Mike on YouTube. I use him mainly for pharmacology and psychiatric nursing. Guys, this guy is perfect when it comes to these 2 areas. He is perfect in other areas, but these are the areas that he helped me to overcome my goals. Pharmacology and psychiatric nursing. And these two are somehow interlinked. So if you understand one, you can literally understand the other, especially when you are following his videos. So that is the area I use in studying pharmacology. He explained a lot of questions to better up your understanding. See on the YouTube channel, and it's for free, guys. So there are thousands of sites out there that you can access for free for your Nclex RN exam. Again, I use Level Up RN, and they are good too, guys. They simplify the content. For example, what I'll watch on Sarah Nurse RN, maybe for 25 minutes. If I need a quick review of it, I can go watch Level Up RN for 7 or 8 minutes, and that works perfectly for me.
I watched Nexus, Nursing and Nclex Crusade International when I'm cooking or don't feel like reading. They're good at breaking down questions and prioritization.
And during this time of watching these videos, I was mainly at work, doing my short break, or when I sit on my hallway waiting for the next call light, I'll just open these videos and watch. So since I was at work, I'll write it down, what I understand down, and at times when I don't feel like writing, I take a lot of screenshots on some important concept that I can see just a picture of it later on and remember what I study. Like when I was studying EKG on YouTube, I'll just take screenshot of so many of them, so that each time I don't need to watch the video. I can just see a picture and tell you what is going on. Or when I was studying things like hyperkalemia, just a picture of it to see how it goes. Next time, coming back to that post, I just need to see a picture of what I took, and I'll recall what is going on when it is hypokalemia in the system. So that is what guides me. I'll insert a lot of the screenshot for you to see. And that's just a few of my screenshots among many others. I was studying all of these while working as a full-time CNA. CNA stands for Certified Nurse Assistant, and I was too busy because I was a mother of two, of ages 3 years and 7 months old. So most of the time, I have to be with my kids while studying. So the little time I have to dedicate for studies, I make good use of it. Like when it comes to, I make notes on concept that I need to recall, because for me, I'm a type that when I see and I see again, I return better. So this is a sample of my note. This is mainly my pharmacology note. When you see, it's just in A4 papers. It's just in A4 paper. When you take a section, you see this antibiotics and immune system. That's how they are subdivided. All these things stand for their very name. Skin drugs and musculoskeletal. All these things stand for, and they are all in this form because I make this note while I was at work. So at work, I can easily have A4 papers. I can easily have this type of papers, A4 papers, to write whatsoever I understand and I want to write down. So next time, I just need to go through this and remember the drug, the classification, their side effect, their adverse effect, and what it is used for. So after making this book, at times I will want to study pharmacology, and that can literally take me 2 hours to review all of this and then go answer questions on antibiotics and all the like. And that works for me perfectly. I study most of my content mostly at night when my kids were asleep, and also during my off days from work. During the first 6 months, for every system that I study, I set questions on the UWorld app. The UWorld question bank is so amazing, the fact that for every question you answer is followed by a detailed rationale why this answer is correct and why this one is wrong. And it has a lot of videos that you can watch also. With this UWorld question bank, I install it right in my phone where I can access it everywhere I go. So even when I am at the doctor's office for appointment, at work, I could access this app and answer thousands of questions. Like, guys, most of my questions were mostly done when I'm at work. So this is how I used to do. When I sit on my hallway as a CNA, I will go through this app. I'll set the question on what I studied before and I'll answer. And I was a good CNA. That is, I make sure all my call lights are being answered on time. I also make sure I follow my rounds and keep everybody on my assignment comfortable. So it was easy for me to sit on my hallway while following questions. Any call light that pop up, I can easily see, and I can get up from there and exercise my body, relax my brain, move around, do my rounds, and come back and continue studying. So that's how my study plan was. Guys, it is not an easy job. At this point, I was having just one choice, and the choice was study for your Nclex exam, no matter what it takes. I'm encouraging you all, if that is your wish, study for it, no matter the effort it will take to study. Guys, nothing good in life comes easily. I'm motivating everyone out there, and I'm wishing you all the best as you study for your Nclex exam or any other exam you are taking. With this routine for 6 months and taking self-assessment tests on the UWorld question bank that rate your chances of passing, I was at the borderline of passing. My score was 70%. 70% at the borderline of passing. And I had a good mastery of the content. At this point, and with the work I put in, I was very happy of progressing from 32% to 70%. But I was still on the borderline of passing, and my main goal was the final Nclex exam. So at this point, I knew I needed something extra. At this point, I have a good mastery of the content, but I was still lacking in my critical thinking and judgment. That is, I was able to answer all the low-level questions correctly. As the level of complexity in question increases, I will start failing. And for you to pass the Nclex exam, you need to prove to the examiners that as you are passing the low-level questions, they are taking you to the higher level of complexity questions, and you have to still maintain the level of passing as the level of complexity increases. That's what will guarantee your passing. The 6 functions of clinical judgment correspond to the nursing process, as you can see on the screen. The nursing process corresponds to the 6 clinical judgment of thinking. That is, you have to start by assessing the patient. When you assess, you analyze clues. That's your diagnosis. When you analyze the clues, you plan. What do? You plan all these things, and when you plan, you implement. After that, you evaluate. You can see it right on the screen. So you have to develop your critical thinking in order to pass the high level of complexity questions. That will guarantee you passing the Nclex. I then enroll into varsity tutors. This is their number displayed on the screen, and you can access them on Google. Just type varsity tutors and you have information concerning them, how to contact them. Guys, this group of tutors are amazing. They taught me easy way how to remember concept, to link one concept to the next, and above all, guys, they taught me how to answer some of the questions I was always afraid of answering. Those are the case study questions, the bold type questions, the drag and drop questions, the stand-alone questions. Yeah, I could answer the stand-alone questions. Select all that apply. They taught me all of this, and it was amazing. So going through their program for the last 2 months of my study, it boosted my study from 70% to 85 to 90%. That's how I took my Nclex exam at that point, and I got a pass on my first attempt. During this time that I was attending to varsity tutors, that was the time that I scheduled my Nclex exam testing day. It was the last 2 months of my study plan. So I was attending classes with varsity tutors while I scheduled my exam testing day. And at this point, I was focused on attending classes and answering thousands of review questions. Every day, I will set at least 75 questions. I'll go through it and I will answer it. After that, I will see my score and then the UOR will rate my performance. And when you are doing great, you already know, because a lot of the content will become familiar to you and you can link one concept to another, which will make it very easy for you to understand. With varsity tutors, their studies are done on Zoom, and at their classes, you have the opportunity to ask questions on any area you don't understand. If you want to understand it better, you have the opportunity to ask the question and you will be explained. And in that case, you will bring all your difficult areas and you'll be clarified. I will recommend them if you want their services. They are very great, especially when you have been out of school for a long time and you need some mentoring. You need someone to tell you how the nature of the exam is, what you expect to see, how you deal with anxiety, how to understand content better. They are good in everything. How to deal with exam anxiety, how the exam day will be. Varsity is good at all of that. In the Nclex content, while you put in all the money, the sacrifice, the hard work, the discipline, it is important to note that your belief, your faith, and your mindset contribute a lot to your success. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys, and I wish you all the best as you prepare for your Nclex exam. If you learned something new from this video, Please consider subscribing for more videos. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Stay blessed.